Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. You know, Forex trading is not a game to be played with by young kids that are looking at someone driving around in a Lambo and saying, oh, I want to be able to do that. They did it with Forex, I'm going to do that. Or I'm just going to open an account and I'm going to make riches. That's fool's gold. And that's why my channel doesn't really address that market. If you're under 25 years of age, just turn the video off, because you don't have enough life experience to understand the seriousness of the Forex market and what it can do for you in the long term. You're not going to get in there with $1,000 and make $100,000. People that have 8 or 10 years of experience may be able to do that, but not you. Not within 2 or 3 years. It isn't going to happen. Now, maybe you'll find somebody that did happen. Well, that's an anomaly. So was Rembrandt and Beethoven and the president of GE and you know, those are people that just have that innate. They're at the far end of the spectrum of ability in doing something. You're not there. You're not it. If you were, you wouldn't be investigating Forex or watching a Forex video. This is serious stuff. I'm 76 years old. I know what serious stuff is. I invested in real estate for 40 years. I was a software engineer for 33 years, solving complex problems. I have a bachelor's degree in physics. I've been around the corner before, and I've been beat up worse than most of you. Been involved in the martial arts for 58 years. So I know something about life and what it takes to do something and to be successful at it. So if you're under 25, you simply don't have the experience to appreciate the power that learning Forex trading can provide for your future, not for tomorrow when you want to buy a fucking car. The whole point of going out into the world and getting a job is so that you can accumulate money so that you don't have to work and you can retire. That's becoming more and more difficult today because of the economy, and particularly now, we're September of 2025, we don't know what's going to happen. AI is coming out, interest rates are at all-time highs around the world, and they're starting to come down, but that's causing unemployment to go up. There are, because of the pandemic that we just went through, we're rethinking the entire employee go-to-the-office business model. This whole world is changing. There's so much uncertainty. And because of AI, a lot of people that just floated through school and really don't have any skills or the ability to adapt, you're going to be overpowered. Your job is at risk. What are you going to do if you lose your job? I just did a video a couple of months ago, I guess, on what happens if you're 30 to 50 years of age and you lose your job. What happens? Why are you at the job? You're at the job to make money. Not to have a ski-mobile, but to make money so that you have savings put away so that if you lose your job, you've got staying power until you can get your next job. And if you're in your 50s, you're not looking for the next job, or in your 60s, because there's job discrimination. And boy, when AI comes out and starts smacking you around, I just saw a video where there was a large business owner saying they were involved in a lot of business finance planning and buying other businesses and stuff. And they said that their position, they have financial analysts that go out and look at these different businesses and compare them with other businesses in the industries, and they do all this stuff, and then they do purchase and sale analysis and long-term growth projections and all this stuff. They're called financial analysts. The job comes at $175,000 a year. All of those people that they were paying $175,000 a year are no longer working for them. They've all been replaced by a $200 a month subscription to an AI program that does all that work. That's where we're headed. So you better get going on other ways of developing income and wealth than just counting on your job, because that job may not be there, or it may not be there for you because you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not adaptable enough. What are you doing right now to have skills? The folks that I work with in Longwood Currency Trading and the Fast Track program that I have, we're not teaching people how to buy toys. We're looking at the long run. We're developing skills. The Fast Track program is a quick program to learn those skills so you can get on with it. There's no Discord group that lasts lifetime membership to the Discord group or all this other stuff. You learn this stuff the same way that you would learn how to drive a car. You learn the skills in sequential order. It all makes sense. It goes together. You learn how to drive the car. You don't ever have to come back and take driving lessons again. There's so much education out there in the Forex market that requires continuing membership payments to courses. And this stuff is really simple. It's only the people that are getting involved in it that make it complicated, because the people that are selling the courses, it was complicated for them. They don't understand the basic foundations of it. And they propagate this thing that, oh God, it's just like somebody who goes into insurance, life insurance sales. You know, they go out and they market this stuff to their uncles and cousins, and they really don't know what they're doing. And they don't last long because they don't really get behind it. They don't really understand what they're doing. They don't have a love for it. You have a passion, and hopefully you have a job that satisfies that passion. Is that job paying you enough money? Are you able to save enough money? And even if you are able to save enough money, when the crash comes, if all your money is in the stock market, for example, the last time we had a huge crash, it went down 57%, the S&P. 57% loss in your capital. Okay, so you're 50 years old, you lose almost 60% of your net worth from your retirement accounts and the S&P. You lose 60% of that. Now, you were counting on that to augment your Social Security, which, by the way, is $1,800 a month is like the average right now. And I don't know what the median is, but it's probably more around $1,400 or $1,300. What are you going to do? The purpose of talking to people that are 30 to 50 years of age is that you're too busy right now with your jobs and your careers, or you're 50 years old and you're not prepared and you're too afraid to look at something different and new. You're the most susceptible to the wave of AI that's coming, because it's very difficult to adapt to these new technologies. Look at what happened. We're all old enough to understand what happened. Well, I don't know how old you are when you're watching my video. I'm 76 years old. But when I started in technology, that was in the boom when personal computers were just coming out and operating systems were being developed and the GUI interface was just being developed. And the people that were 50 years old at that time were just overpowered. They couldn't keep up. Many of them lost their jobs because they didn't know how to run a payroll program, an online payroll program. It was devastating. A lot of those folks ended up working into their late 70s, and then they dropped dead. And not working at anything significant. In looking at the Forex market, it's not a game. It's not for shits and grins. It's the most legitimate, solid market in the world. We're not going to call it an investment vehicle because it's not an investment vehicle, because its purpose is to facilitate international economic currency exchange, so that somebody in one country can trade their currency for the currency of another country so they can buy that country's goods. That's what it's all about. That ain't never going to change. It's always going to be there. There's always going to be shit that's being sold between different countries, and there's always going to be a standard currency for that country. When you go to war, would you want to be beholden to everybody else choking your ability to trade currencies off on a Bitcoin-based world economy currency? Is that what you'd want to do? That's never going to happen. We're never going to have a world currency. There's not going to be world peace. We're all just going to exist in the best harmony that we can with each other, and we're going to continue to do economic trade between ourselves with our own currency. What's going to happen to the stock market? I don't know. With the advent of AI coming on board, we just don't know what the effects on these markets are going to be. They should better the aspects of the currency trader, because that's always going to be there. There's always going to be a need for that. So that's a skill you might want to consider learning. We've got the whale by the tail. And by taking a little bit of time to look at the currency market and understand, first of all, what's its purpose? Do you buy into that purpose? Well, if you're 22 years old, some shithead will blow smoke in your ear about the Lambo possibilities and all that. I'm not even talking to you. You're 30, 50 years old. That's who I'm talking to right now. Look at this market and its purpose. It's more valid than the stock market. At $6.7 trillion a day, it dwarfs the combined daily volume of all the stock markets. That's big. So it's reputable. It's not a scam. But it is not an investment vehicle. You buy GE stock and it appreciates, and in 30 years of ups and downs, you cash out and you've got money. It's not like real estate. I did 40 years of real estate. It was the 40 years of real estate that allowed me to pay cash for this house and the 2.7 acres of land that I have without selling my other house first. It was my real estate investment that allowed me to do that, not my 33-year career as a software engineer. The last, 7 or 8 years of that, I was making six figures. But that money went to go into Disney World and to, I lived on the water and 100 feet of sandy beach and a 100-foot dock, and that's where that money went. For the most part. I mean, there's savings and IRAs and all that stuff. But I didn't park my money in an IRA. I bought real estate. I invested. I knew the rules of the game. Could you do that in real estate today? No, not right now. There's a lot of people telling you that you can. It's a very dangerous thing. What are you going to do? You're going to flip houses? Maybe you get successful at it. You got 3 or 4 houses that you got out there. They're all financed, or they're all, you got partners that have money in it. All of a sudden, the rental market collapses. All of a sudden, the real estate market collapses. You've got $300,000 in the purchase of property, and you've got another $200,000 in renovations, and you're trying to sell for $800,000 or $900,000, and there's no buyers. And the properties are now starting to drop below the finance level. They're underwater. Somebody's going to be squealing pretty soon. They want their money. But where's that going to come from? I've been through 4 major economic collapses in my life. I've seen this happen. I've seen this story happen over and over and over again. So from an investment standpoint, you're exposed to the gyrations of the market. When you trade currencies, you're not doing it as an investment. What you're doing is you're making money that you then use to reinvest in the positions to make money that's called compounding. And once you get your account to a certain point where it's throwing off enough money to replace your job income and then some, now you've got a vehicle for wealth creation. but it has nothing to do with the currency market being an investment market. It's not. It's a trading market. Like if you were buying cars and fixing them up and selling them, that's not an investment, that's a trade. You have to really understand the difference between a business and just a passive asset that you have. The Forex market is a business, and if you understand business, so you can be aware of the process of business management, you could be successful in Forex because you're not looking at buying a Lambo. You're looking at reinvesting your money to make money so that you eventually have enough money that makes enough money that you don't have to work. And trading is not work if you enjoy trading. If you don't enjoy trading and you're just trading to buy a Lambo, you will fail. But if you understand business and you can see the Forex market as a business, then you've got some understanding of the power that the Forex market has as a wealth building tool. There's so much negative stuff out there and so much information that you may be overpowered by that. That's why I have a fast track course. It's 6 weeks. It doesn't teach you stuff that you don't need to know to trade. There are other things that you would need to know in order to trade, let's say, large multiple lot size positions, or when you decide you wanted to go into compounding, or you decide you're going to be staging and building lots and all that. There's more layers to the onion to peel off. I've got an advanced solutions course for that if you want, or consulting. I can work with you on that. Is this stuff that you can learn on your own? Yes, you can learn it on your own, and you will fail, and you'll lose tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that, which I have done. And that's the painful way to learn. But it's your choice. I'm not pressing anybody to do consulting with me or to buy my course. I'm retired. I'm a sole proprietor. I work personally with the person. You get a workbook. It's more than a workbook. It's over 100 pages, fast track course, and I work personally with you in consulting. I'm an educator. I taught martial arts for over 50 years. I understand the process of education, and I can teach important stuff. So I've got the background that whether you're 25 years old or you're 55 years old, because I'm working personally with you, I can alter the process of the learning to suit what your goals are. If you're 35 years old, then you know the importance of putting your money in the bank and having it grow. Put it in an index fund at 8%. What happens, Bob, when the index fund drops by 40%? What's going to happen? Well, you're going to dollar cost average. That's great. What if you're 50 years old? You don't have dollar cost averaging anymore. You're out of fucking time. 30 years old, 35 years old, you hit a really bad hit, you're going to spend all the rest of your years just getting back to where you were then. And if you're not able to retire right now, and you lose that money and it's going to take you 10 years to get back, do you have 10 years? You know, I was in real estate, like I said, for 40 years. I lost $1 million net worth twice during that period due to economic collapse in the real estate market. I made that $1 million back each time, but it took me 10 years each time to make the $1 million back. And so when I had made the $1 million back the third time, I said, whew, I'm done. I was in my early 60s, and I'm going to start peeling this stuff off. Whenever the market goes and starts on one of its manic uprises, I'm gonna peel off, and I'm gonna get off the train because I got to where I need to go. I don't have the time to go through another drop and then a thing. And I got out early. I could have made several $100,000 more just by hanging on. Probably would have made more than that. But I got out, and I'm happy. And I bought that house, and I'm happy. And I still have money. And that's where you want to be. So if you're serious and you understand that you need some kind of an alternative methodology of making money in these uncertain times that we're in, please send me an email so that I can discuss the process that I have that I could show you to get involved in the Forex market. You don't have to take a course from me. Just talk to me about it so that you understand what I do. And that's why I work with folks personally. You know, you're 35 years old. What's your net worth? How much are you making a year? Well, how big is your family? What do you want to do with your life? Where is it going to go? When you look 30 years forward, what do you want that picture to look like? At least send me an email and let's talk about this stuff, because it's too important not to understand what the potential for the Forex market is over the long term. And if you're already 45 or 55 years old, I didn't start looking at Forex until I was in my 60s. So it's never too late for Forex, but it could be too late for your next job. It could be too late for the next real estate investment. It could be too late for going through the next cycle of stock reinvestment. It could be too late. Don't let it be too late. Do some research now, but don't contact me if you're thinking that you're only going to want to trade Forex because you want to buy that Lambo. I don't have any patience for you. I'll shut you down right away. Please, if you're serious about your future and what the possibilities are, whether you're going to be able to accomplish those possibilities or not is totally up to you. But at least start investigating it now, so that when you get to the point where you're facing a crisis in your financial life, you're prepared to deal with that better than you perhaps are right now. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading.